Hello and welcome to another trip report. This time from Lille-Europe to Calais. Another kind of special train. It's a local train, but it's a TERGV, so TERGV. What basically means a local express. I don't know what to expect. I saw several videos of people. I think it's just a TGV inOui train. And what I saw from the timetable is that this train started in Paris, probably runs as a full TGV or inOui train to here, and from here on it's also combined TGV and local train. What basically means I don't need a seat reservation. For the ticket I wanted to purchase, it's also declassified, so maybe I can sit first class, I don't know. I just hope there are spots available, I think so. What I do in this video, like I'm basically all my videos, I show the railway station of Lille-Europe. There's another railway station just down the road that's called Lille-Flandres. Tell you a little bit about that in the video. Show you the trains. I won't do this in a very in-depth video, I think, unless I haven't covered these trains yet. And some views from the train. From Calais I take a ferry to Dover, and from Dover I will take another high-speed train to London. So basically today I'll be traveling along the route of the Eurostar without taking the Eurostar. I hope you like this video, or this is a helpful video to you. If so, please give me a thumbs up. If you'd like to see more train related and ferry related videos, some less business as well, subscribe to my channel. But for now, let's roll the intro. I arrived in Lille at the railway station of Lille-Flandres with a train from Belgium. This is a really affordable way to travel to France, and I'm doing this pretty often. From the railway station of Lille-Flandres, what is just down the street, you also find high-speed trains. However, Lille-Flandres is a terminal station, and Lille-Europe in general it isn't. I featured Lille-Flandres in 2 other videos as well, and in one of those videos, that's on the TGV inOui from Lille to Paris, I also explain you how I book my tickets if I'm traveling to France. Basically, in general, I try to avoid the Thalys trains because they can be really pricey. Both the metro and the tramway is for this section underground by the way, do serve the railway stations of Gare Lille-Flandres and Lille-Europe. Basically, you can take the tram or the metro between these 2 railway stations. However, it's a very short walk anyway. The walking time that's being mentioned at those 2 railway stations, Gare Lille-Europe and Gare Lille-Flandres, between the 2 railway stations is 10 minutes. However, this is if you walk really slow, and at that moment you can even still lose direction. It's just a short walk, but they mention this longer just to make sure people will not miss their train. Between these 2 railway stations there's a big Westfield shopping mall called Lille. Of course, within both railway stations there are also shops, but they're mainly focused on food and not really on fashion. Both Lille-Europe and Lille-Flandres are not big shopping malls, like some railway stations might be in some other cities and countries. Around both railway stations there are lots of hotels. The Lille-Europe is more focusing on business hotels, and around Lille-Flandres, what's really close to the city center, you find the more typical hotels you will use if you go for a city trip. This is about a 5-minute walk to the railway station. I'm a fast walker, so for me it will be like 3 minutes. The signs at these 2 railway stations do mention that it's about a 10-minute walk. This is just to make sure that this is realistic for everybody, also people who don't walk that fast, and you will still make your connection if you have a connecting train. From street level, there's a street separating 2 entrances of this railway station. At the street level there are some bus stops, and in the middle of this street you will find a parking spot for bikes, as you can see here. This railway station has been opened in 1994 for the high-speed line between Lille and just outside Calais that is connecting to the Channel Tunnel. So it's a connection on the high-speed line between Paris and London and Brussels and London. Even though the Eurostar between Great Britain and the Netherlands does call here as well, you cannot buy tickets for Lille to the Netherlands or the other way around. Information about departing trains will be given at blue screens, and it has also been mentioned very clear that these are departing trains. Even though if you don't speak French, the name depart is basically the same as in English. My train today was listed on my ticket as a TER train, so I had to double check the departure screens because it's a combined TGV and TER train. This railway station has a totally different atmosphere than the railway station of Lille-Flandres. It's much more modern and actually way bigger and less crowded. From here on you will find Eurostar trains to London, Amsterdam and Brussels. However, like I mentioned before, at the moment of recording you can only book Eurostar trains from mainland Europe to Great Britain or the other way around, so not within mainland Europe. Apart from that, you will find TGV inOui high-speed trains between Brussels and the south of France. Those trains do make a switch back over here. And domestic high-speed trains to the south of France. One of my very first trip reports on a TGV inOui was also to this railway station from Montpellier. Of course, you'll find some information desks where you can go to buy tickets and ask information about your journey. And because this is a true high-speed railway station, there are also lots of car rental companies over here. As you can see here on the right, there are lots of places where you can just have a sit and wait, and a lot of these places do have power plugs included as well. And at some spots you have a great view on the railway tracks as well, as you can see over here. In a way, I can imagine that's quite cold here in a winter day, but there are also some smaller waiting areas and they look really neat. Those smaller waiting areas are inside. At several spots within this railway station free Wi-Fi is available, although I did not test it. I entered this railway station from a higher level. However, as a food passenger between the railway stations Lille-Flandres and Lille-Europe, you can also take this exit. And as like I mentioned before, they initiate it's about a 10-minute walk, but it's way shorter. A change office and lots of places where you can buy food are located within this railway station as well. Like in many other railway stations, there's also a piano over here, as you can see here on the right. Having a piano on a railway station is not really unique, but I really like this and some fun and cool things might happen around these places. At the other end you will find the entrance for the Eurostar, so this is basically where custom formalities can take place. And for the Eurostar trains there's also a dedicated ticket desk, although I think they can also help you at the SNCF ticket desk though. Even though I mentioned in the beginning when I was talking about the shopping mall that you won't find that many non-food shops over here, but there are more than I thought at first. In a way, I really like to buy things at railway stations because, well, you just make it a lot more livable and you support facilities around railway stations. That's also something I really like, and this, well, encourages, well, more commercial activities, but also makes sure there's more safety, more security, and, well, railway stations are just a nicer place to go to. In general, security over here is quite good, I have to say. Also, because custom formalities can take place over here, so there's extra attention on safety and security at this railway station. Even though in Lille-Flandres I found relatively a lot of homeless people, I never felt unsafe around that railway station. Entrance to the metro is really good integrated within this railway station, and actually I didn't notice this at first. However, it's this way from the main hall, and if I look down here, it looks really deep and in a way quite futuristic and impressive, as you can see over here. This railway station is also really close to a highway. As you can see, at the moment I'm turning my camera to the other side over here. French high-speed railway stations are in general really close to highways and not within the city center. However, this railway station is close to a highway and also really close to the city center. So it's best of both worlds. The track numbers are really high in this railway station. I think this has to do with the fact that the numbers might be combined with the tracks that will be used for Lille-Flandres. Anyway, it's time to go to my train. And as you can see at the moment I'm entering the platform, you will find quite impressive fences at these platforms. This is because both Eurostar trains and normal trains do depart and arrive here. And the train to London is coming in right here on the left. Because theoretically the people on the left are not in France but in the UK, because they pass customs, I cannot go there, and there is a lot of security with cameras and big fences. And it is easy to open these gates so it can be used for domestic trains as well. At the platform there are lots of screens that will host information about the first upcoming departure, and these screens do host information about the train composition as well. Apart from that, there are special train composition screens at the platform as well, and those screens do also indicate where you're at this moment. These screens will refer to letters you can find at the platform, so you know more or less what carriage will be where at the platform at the moment the train is arriving. So you stand at the right spot and it's easier to go on board of these trains. I thought I'd move to the back of the train because there you'll find the lower car numbers and also the first class, because it seemed like for the local train it was being declassified. However, I was not the only one who had this idea, and apart from that, first class has a lower capacity in general. Well, I think I don't have to explain that I did not travel on the declassified first class. Anyway, this is my train coming in. It is a TGV inOui Riso duplex, basically a double-deck high-speed train. Of course, you'll find different versions of those, and these are not the newest ones. The specific type I had on this route, I do have 2 trip reports where I'll be featuring these trains, so I'm not doing it again. Because the tickets did not always come including a seat reservation for the local trains, the other seats at the bar and between the carriages were also quite busy at this route. Because the ride is only about 20 minutes or so and I also wanted to shot some views from the train, I did not went for a seat but just hang around between the carriages so I could film the views a bit. Anyway, for the next tiny bit of this video I'll show you some views from the train on the high-speed line between Lille-Europe and Calais-Fréthun. Right after that I'll tell you a bit more about Calais-Fréthun railway station, how to get to the town of Calais and how I bought my ticket. After about 29 minutes, the train is arriving at the railway station of Calais-Fréthun. This is a true high-speed railway station outside of the city center, so it's not really a place where you would go to if you are visiting Calais. It's just a very functional railway station and that's basically it. Though, yeah, actually you don't need more, but a little bit more would be nice. Although I think the number of trains that will use this railway station is relatively low. There are mainly a lot of Eurostar trains that will just pass by and won't stop at this railway station. Information about departing trains and also connecting trains has been given very clear at screens at the platform, but also in the main areas of this railway station, so I think it's hard to miss. Directions are given good, And well, because of the size, there ain't much to direct to though. Anyway, it's time to go to the main railway station hall, and that's located at the front. This feels a bit better than the part where I arrived, but it still feels like a big, newly built, functional railway station somewhere in the outskirts of a city. There's really not much around here, and the highway is really close. Within the main railway station hall, there are some places where you can wait, toilets, and if you go up, there's also a ticket desk. There are not a lot of shops over here, and if you want to buy some snacks and drinks, you can use the vending machines. That's basically it. Eurostar trains can also use this railway station, and custom formalities can take place over here as well. However, since the pandemic, Eurostar trains do not call at this railway station anymore. Hopefully this will change in the near future. At the moment of recording, it's September 2022. At the front of the railway station, at the lower part, there's a taxi stand and there are some parking spots. However, at the higher parts, and this is also where you find the ticket counters, there is a much bigger parking spot for cars. And this is also where you find the bus stops. I've bought my ticket on the website of Trainline. Personally, I really like their website. They make it easy to book train tickets through all of Europe. And I'm not even being sponsored by them, or I don't even have an affiliate link. Although creating an affiliate link might be interesting to support this channel a bit more. I should do some research on this. The website for booking domestic tickets within France is one of the worst websites I ever saw for train tickets. And they're changing the entire layout and branding every couple of years as well. So maybe if you watch this video after 3 years or so, this might be better. Anyway, that's another motivation for me to buy my tickets at Trainline. My ticket was from Lille-Europe to Calais-Fréthun, but when I looked it up on the website of Trainline, and yes, I'm also talking about downside of their website, I requested a ticket from any station in Lille, so Lille-Europe or Lille-Flandres, to Calais-Ville. But the lower connection from Lille-Europe to Calais-Fréthun was also given. I did some more research on this, and the lower connection is way faster anyway. And let's say we have the worst case scenario and there's no connection to the city whatsoever. It's still faster to take this route. In that case, I have to walk for about 1 hour and 22 minutes to the town center. However, there's also public transportation between these two railway stations, and in that case it will take me up to 25 minutes. However, when I looked this up on Google Maps, I found out there's a connecting train on the train that I have, and that would only take 5 minutes. Eventually, it was not a train but a rail replacement bus that will go directly to the other railway station of Calais, Calais-Ville. This connection is not on every train that arrives at the railway station of Calais-Fréthun, so please check this in Google Maps before you plan this. If you take the ferry to Dover, like what I did, just make sure you plan some extra time so you have enough time to make it to the ferry terminal. And well, you need to be there really on time in general. It's written on your tickets. So please calculate some extra time for this. Buses within the town of Calais are for free, and right at the front of the railway station there's a very tiny bus that will go to the ferry terminal. So that's it for this video. I'm right now in front of the railway station of Calais-Ville. From here on I'll take a bus to the ferry terminal and a ferry to Dover. Will be another video about that as well. Once again, I hope you like this video. If you do so, give me a thumbs up. If you'd like to see more train, ferry and well, videos about a more sustainable way of transportation, hit the subscribe button and see you on my next video.